Hi, this is Grace, and I'm really excited to go over some of the Microsoft features that I discussed in our post for Module 5. I'm going to talk about how to use some of the accessibility features in Word. I'm going to talk about formatting text very easily, as well as formatting pictures very easily for anyone who might have a disability. This might be an easier way for them to format text if they can't use the keyboard as often, or the mouse, if they have some limitations with the mouse. So one of the things I want to first start out with is clicking on the View button, making sure that you have the proper toolbars set up. You always want to have your standard toolbar at the top there so that you have all of these functions or buttons that you can easily click on, especially if you have a disability or just for ease. Secondly, we also want to add the auto text, because I'm going to talk a little bit about adding text and phrases and creating commonly or frequently used phrases so that you don't have to retype them every time. So we'll talk about that a little later. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that as well. So one of the things I want to do is show you that you can easily apply formatting styles to your text, especially if you have already styles created. If you click here where it says Normal, this is where my styles are. I have a Heading 1 style that has some formatting in it. You can see that Heading 2 looks a little bit different. There's italics and it's a different format, and Heading 3. So I'm going to apply those three to my text that I'm going to copy over. Let's say that you have typed in some text and then you later want to go back and format it all, or if you're copying and pasting from another document like I'm going to do here. So first I'm going to go ahead and highlight this text that's already been typed. This comes from our Module 5 text, and I'm going to use the Edit and Copy, or we can also use the Copy tool here from our button, or Control-C is a shortcut. So depending on what you're more comfortable with or what's easier to use. But I'm going to go ahead and click Copy here. I'm going to bring it over here, and now I'm going to do a paste, which again I have a button to do that here, or I can do a Control-V depending on what's easier. So I've pasted in my text, and now I've got a couple of heading lines here that I would like to apply a style to. So I can click on Heading 1, but I can also, throughout my document, if I see that I'm using Heading 1 throughout my document, I can actually use my Format Painter, and while this is selected, I can click on the Format Painter and apply the same style here and anywhere else I might want to use that style. If I want to change my style here to Heading 2, now I've added my Heading 2 style here, I can go back up and click on my Format Painter and go throughout my document and make sure that anything that I click on is now got that style. I'm going to do one more here with my module overview and apply my Heading 3, and maybe I'll go ahead and add Heading 3 to my last line here, just so that you can see me using that format painting. So I can use that. Actually, I need to do it to a that one more time. This is applying a style using the paint format tool. Okay. The other thing I'd like to go over with you is how to format pictures. If I select this picture here and copy that over to my document here, I can make some changes to the format. So I definitely don't want it sitting up here. So if I go to Format Picture, I can do some things here. One, I can basically tell it that I want it to be centered on my page, maybe tight around my text. I can also size it down to maybe 75%. opposed to 100%. And I can add some fill color. So I'm going to add a blue background and a purple thick line around my image there. So now we can see that it looks very different. And if I take another image here, again, I'm going to copy that image and paste it in my document somewhere down here. And I can now apply this. If I select the first image, click on my Format Paint tool, I can quickly apply it to that image. So those are some neat features for accessibility, and they definitely would benefit anyone with a disability or anyone who would like to make their word processing much easier. One last thing I do want to share with you is auto texting. If I have a phrase that I'm always using, like adding, do you see how my phrase comes up, adding auto text? By just typing the first 4 characters, I can hit the enter key and that entire phrase will appear. So I can add different phrases here by typing something in that I use all the time. I can add that in so that when I go to begin typing this, it will automatically come up, and you can see that happen there, right? And by hitting the enter key, I automatically have that phrase typed in without having to do too many keystrokes. So I want to thank you for bearing with me and allowing me to share with you these accessibility tools. And again, Microsoft and Apple both are excellent developers for providing assistant technology and accessibility features universally in all their products. Thank you.